Hey, uh, I know you can't see me. I'm sitting in my living room. There's no light behind me, and it doesn't matter if you see me or not. I'm not trying to hide from anybody. I just am not in the mood on turning all the lights on. It's 9:20 at night, and I'll be going to bed pretty soon. I wanted to touch base on something that has nothing to do with being targeted or gang stalking or any kind of crap like that. I wanted to talk about our millennial generation. You know, these kids, they're almost like cyborgs. They're like half human and half robot. And they seem to think that the world owes them a living. They don't want to work. A few of them do, but the majority of them don't. They expect their parents or friends to take care of them, basically, financially, take them places, drive them all around town, do things for them, buy things for them, and they just want to just constantly mooch. And it's sickening. It's really sickening. It's sad. It's very sad. And they have no sense of direction. And half of them don't know how to read properly. They don't know proper English. Hardly any of them know how to write in cursive because none of this is taught in the schools anymore. Everything they do is typing, computers, technology. There is no more basic learning capabilities. It's just, it's not there. And, I mean, it's what our world is going into, the future. It's what it is. And I hate that because there are things that I did in my childhood, and I've even had a few of the youngsters of today, a few of the millennials, that do appreciate um, old school things and historic things, and they've come up to me and said, I wish I grew up in that era. I bet it would have been a lot of fun. There are actually some of them that are learning that what they do as far as communicating with each other is nothing compared to what we had when we were growing up, like the baby boomers. You know, it's nothing like it. I mean, there is no communication as far as speaking to one another, or there's no love either. I mean, their love is much different than what the love was I was raised on. I mean, love itself has an astronomical amount of meanings, but there is no what's the word I'm looking for? It's there's no human touch. There's no emotional embracing. There is no compassion, no empathy, none of that. And even with their music, I mean, a lot of the youngsters, and when I say youngsters, I'm meaning, kids 13, 12 to 25 or 30 even, they listen to, the majority of them, listen to rap music. and hip hop, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I mean, well, well there is, but there isn't. I mean, as far as the demonic issues with it, you know, but that includes all music, and I'm not going to go into that. But they have no actual romance in their lives. I asked one couple one time, young couple, I said, "What do you listen to when you're alone together?" And I asked them, when you're alone together making love or having sex or whatever you want to call it, what do you listen to? Do you ever listen to anything that is romantic, like slow dance music? They don't know what that is. It's like it's completely disappearing from our musical history. I was listening to some R&B. I was listening to some romantic, quiet storm music, belly rubbing music, baby making music, as they used to call it when I was growing up. And they have none of that. I mean, they don't even know what it's about. How do you possibly get romantic and listen to rap music? I love rap, I love hip hop, but how do you romantically enjoy that? There is no romance with that. It's gangster rap, that's what's popular, you know, killing and shooting and nigger and pussy and bitch, and I mean, there is no love in that music. None. And it just makes me sad. And I was listening to some music tonight in my truck, and I had my window cracked so much to flick my ashes out of and let the smoke out of the truck, and uh, people were passing by looking at me like, what is that she's listening to? I mean, they have no idea. I was jamming. I was listening to more than romantic music. I was listening to funk by the Funkadelics, you know, with George Clinton. I mean, Bootsy Collins. I mean, they don't have a clue as to what that stuff is. You know, I was listening to R&B music. I was listening to Average White Band, A Love of Our Own, and Michelle A. Just all kinds of slow romantic music that is just embodying and enveloping and make you happy, and Happy Feelings by Maze, and just good old time jams. And there, in this world, there are no more. It doesn't exist anymore. All you can listen to are the old things. Nobody makes this music anymore because it's not popular amongst the millennials. And they are becoming the majority. I mean, the baby boomers, I believe, are still the majority. But pretty soon, the baby boomers are all going to die off. I mean, we're getting ready to look at the largest senior citizen population there ever was in the United States. And once we're all gone, it's going to be the millennials and the generation after that. And there is no slow music. So I just basically wanted to say that, and maybe get a little feedback on it if you care to say anything. So I'm having a lonesome night tonight. I'm bored, lonely, by myself. Uh, all bad news today. Didn't get anything done that was supposed to be done. Tried to, made a lot of phone calls, a lot of senseless phone calls that got me nowhere. So if anyone wants to do me a favor, just pray for me that I find a place to live, because I'm having a hard time. You all have a good evening. Good night.